What's good, y'all? I'm about to react to this new Thor Avengers Doomsday scenes revealed Thor versus Hulk. Oh, snap. Man, I knew they gonna come back and fight for the final time, man. Hopefully, I want to see Hulk versus Wolverine also. I want to see that fight, man. I would love to see that fight, dude. And I know when I was like looking at the first Avengers, when it first came out, when I was looking at Thor versus Hulk, when they was fighting, and I was like, that Hulk is the strongest Avenger, but he can't lift up Thor's hammer. Yo, when I seen that dude, I was like, what? I was shocked that that Hulk couldn't lift Thor's hammer. Cause Hulk is I think Hulk is the strongest. But I also think Thor now is the strongest Avenger if I think more about it though. But I seen Hulk not lift Thor's hammer, dude. I'm like, yo, man. So Thor is the strongest Avenger. I also think Thor is the most powerful Avenger. Honestly, just with his lightning, dude. His lightning and his speed. Thor is powerful.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Cosmic Wonder. Today we have new reports about a couple of different Thor scenes coming to Avengers Doomsday and the MCU. One involves Thor and Love, who is kind of his daughter now, returning to Earth, because when we left off with them in Thor Love and Thunder, they weren't on Earth. So one involves them returning to Earth. The other involves the Hulk. Now, this report has a lot of fans very excited, so we're going to be sure to dive into this. But at the same time, Michael Waldron, who wrote Loki Season 1, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and who was going to write Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars, he already started on the script for Avengers Kang Dynasty before everything got changed and Kang turned to Doom, and he's now working on Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. He has come out and talked about his involvement with these films, and it leads, I believe, to Loki having an insanely huge role in Avengers Doomsday, and ultimately leads to the reunion of Thor and Loki, which I have been waiting for and really want to see on screen very badly. So a lot to dive into.
Yes, dude. Since Loki got all the time in his hands, boy, and seeing Thor still doing his thing, I would love to see them reunite, man. Just having Thor, I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy. Just seeing, I ain't gonna lie, this would be a cool ass picture. If we seen Loki with all the time in his hand, with all the power, and then see Thor with all the lightning in his hand, seeing Manure and Stormbreaker in his hand. Boy, that'd be a cool ass picture.
And if you love Marvel, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of the latest Marvel update videos. Now, first things first, real quick, some people were asking me about this. Marvel has revealed a new t-shirt that seemingly has a new look at Doctor Doom. We can see it here, and I mean, it has the hood on it. We have the mask on it. And we have another image as well, but these actually show the Punisher, Spider-Man, and Daredevil, not necessarily MCU accurate versions of these. So yes, it's a cool look at Doom. Not sure this will reflect too much of how Doom looks in the accurate version.
I ain't gonna lie, they kind of look plain though. I mean, it look plain looking. I mean, it kind of look generic, honestly. Generic, plain looking. But I wouldn't be shirts that I probably would like put on. But it is what it is with these shirts. I really didn't care nothing about these shirts, honestly. It just look generic and plain to me. I wouldn't wear it, but
these. So yes, it's a cool look at Doom. Not sure this will reflect too much of how Doom looks in the MCU. Either way, it's a cool shirt. It's a very awesome shirt that apparently is going to be it's going to be for sale at NYCC. So that's really cool, but I don't think this is kind of like a new look at Doom. I think this is just a really cool thing that they're doing for NYC specifically. But getting on to the new scene with Thor and the Hulk. My time to shine, hello. The insider reports Thor and Hulk will reportedly fight again in the future of the MCU. Now, she doesn't specifically say Avengers Doomsday, but if we think past Doomsday and past Secret Wars, I'm not really sure Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is going to be involved too much after that, if any at all. In fact, I'm pretty sure Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is not going to survive the reset of the MCU, especially with Marvel Studios president Kevin Feige confirming they're going to recast some of the old Avengers. He specifically said Iron Man and Captain America, but I'm assuming Black Widow comes with that, and pretty much all of the OG Avengers except for Thor, who we have been hearing Chris Hemsworth is going to stick on as Thor post MCU reset. So I don't think we get past.
I mean, shoot, he's the best actor for Thor, honestly. I remember they had, like, the older Thor, like, the older, like, shows. I think it was, like, from the Hulk. Might have been from the Hulk movie that we seen Thor. That was the actor for that. But, you know, that was, like, back in the day. You know, stuff like that wasn't really, like, good like that how we got now. But stuff we got now is pretty up to pack what it needs to be, though. But he the best actor for Thor, and I would love to see him continue. I could really consider would recast as Thor. I definitely can't see
Doomsday or Secret Wars with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, so I believe this is going to happen in Doomsday or Secret Wars, where we will see the Hulk go up against Thor. Or should I say Thor go up against the Hulk again? Now, we've had constant battles of Thor and the Hulk. We got one in the very first Avengers film, then we got one in Thor Ragnarok, which was awesome, but since then, we haven't really had the Savage Hulk back, but Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to bring us Savage Hulk back. So it looks like it's going to be.
Hopefully they ain't lying. Hopefully we see that, dude. It's just some seeing that Red Hulk just coming out angry, fierce. We just need that Hulk to just bring that powerful, just that savageness, just all of that. That's what we needed in Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, and we just got a smart Hulk. It was kind of cool when it came in Endgame, but I really didn't like it too much. Then they brought it back in She-Hulk, and She-Hulk was a terrible project, but
a hell of a fight again, at least hopefully. And it sounds like Marvel is kind of really listening to the fans as far as what they want. So not only are we going to be getting an Avengers versus the X-Men scene in Doomsday, but we might be getting a Thor versus the Hulk scene in Doomsday as well, or Secret Wars, which I'm sure a lot of fans are going to be just really, really excited to see. But we do have an update.
Yeah. Also, Wolverine and Hulk, I want to see bad. Seeing that in Deadpool and Wolverine, I'm like, yeah, we got to get that happen. That needs to happen. That needs to happen in the near future of MCU projects.
On another scene involving the Hulk, and it's this one, according to
probably also Red Hulk and the Hulk fight.
A new insider, James Mackwell, who has been, some of his reports have been confirmed true already, but still take it with a grain of salt. He states, Thor and Love will go to New Asgard in Avengers Doomsday. Valkyrie will appear, and the actress has already filmed her scene. Korg is not expected to have any significance, and other characters from Thor's core group are not expected to appear. Now, like I mentioned, Thor...
A new Asgard. What? Asgard was destroyed by that fire demon they had. I ain't gonna lie, he destroyed the mess out of it. And it was funny of how the Hulk went up there and tried to beat his ass, but he threw the Hulk back where he needed to be. Hulk, no, he can't fight that. Ever. I could never see the Hulk fighting something like that, but hey, a new Asgard. In Avengers Doomsday. They must be going back into the multiverse or another universe that had Asgard, dude. That
is off-world right now. He's with Love, and they were on an alien planet trying to help some other aliens out. Looks like he's going to be coming back, and based on what we have heard from other insiders in the past, the reason that Thor kind of becomes aware of everything that is happening is because of Love. Love was essentially revived by Eternity, and they showed us that she kind of has some powers now. So being connected to eternity, to the universe. She can kind of sense what is happening. So according to previous reports, she senses the incursion about to happen. So her and Thor go back to Earth for that reason, to basically regroup with the Avengers. And it would make sense that kind of their first stop would most likely be New Asgard, to talk to Valkyrie to see if she's noticed anything. And I'm assuming when they say his core group.
I want to know that. So she must got the same powers as Thor. So she's supposed to be Thor's daughter, I guess. Okay. She's supposed to be part of like the new Avengers also, but she still need to grow up a little bit. Just like how they did with X-23 and X-Men of Logan. We gotta see how she'll grow up and how she'll
Group
be
of
like
friends and everything aren't really going to appear. Thor. That's most likely because there's when they say.
And some just popped in my brain as a New Asgard, so they must mean Valhalla, cause that just popped in my head after everybody done died from Thor: Love and Thunder. I also thought it was going to Valhalla, the heaven place where everybody done passed away, and over there.
His core group of friends and everything aren't really going to appear. That's most likely because there's already so many people involved in this movie. It's hard to jam everybody into it without it seeming, overstuffed a little bit. I still wouldn't be surprised if we see them there. Obviously, Korg has always been by Thor's side. I mean, they lived together for a while at New Asgard, but Valkyrie has been ruling over New Asgard as Thor has been gone. He's going to probably stop by real quick, just check in, and then he's going to go meet up with the Avengers.
I never cared for this dude, Korg. Like, what's he supposed to be, like, the next thing, I guess? But I think the thing, he'll whoop this dude till. I never cared for this dude. I guess he tried to be, like, a comedian. I'm like, what was this dude's purpose ever in Thor?
We might see Korg, we might see Meek, we might see some other characters, but don't expect them to really play any role in this film, as is reported. It makes a ton of sense. But now going over to what Michael Waldron has recently said. This is what Michael Waldron said when talking about originally writing Avengers Kang Dynasty, which he was hired to do. He stated, "I was writing the movie after that, but there wasn't a filmmaker attached yet. I was just involved in all those conversations. When that movie went away," talking about Avengers Kang Dynasty, "I was working on what would become Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars for a time. And then they brought in the Russos and Steve McFeely. As those guys got in and wrapped their hands around what these movies were going to be, and then there was an opportunity for me to come back in and get to know Joe and Anthony and Steve and really just help however I could. That's what I'm trying to do, is just support them." So I actually think it says a lot that Michael Waldron is involved in writing Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars, because he pretty much wrote kind of the key multiversal picks in the MCU so far. He wrote Loki Season 1, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, as I mentioned, and he was already working on what was going to be a giant multiversal film, Avengers Kang Dynasty. That was going to involve time travel, multiversal travel. It was going to involve pretty much everything building up to this. But most importantly, I think he was going to really write Loki in the best way possible. And I think he has a really good grasp on how Loki should be. And I think he really, more than anybody who's worked for the MCU, who's done an MCU project so far, he has a grasp on the multiverse the best.
I ain't gonna lie, I hope Loki also gets like more of a role than he ever did. Cause he also got like even other roles in like Thor, Avengers. I ain't gonna lie, he did play like a big role in Avengers movie though, the first Avengers. But I want to see, they really need Loki to have like a bigger role than he ever has, cause he really need like the Avengers to rely on him pretty good though. But man, yeah, they really gonna need him, cause he got all the power, time in his hands.
Establish the rules, and even though Marvel might be really confusing with the rules sometimes and might drift away and kind of break their own rules sometimes, just kind of depends on what you're watching, he has the best grasp on how everything should work. So it makes total sense that the Russo brothers would have him contribute to the script, basically use him to kind of keep the laws all the same. So he's supporting.
I ain't going. Plus, I heard Dr. Doom's supposed to get to Loki and have Loki defeated, right? Have him killed, but I don't think that's gonna happen. I think Dr. Doom gonna keep Loki alive. Just add him, have Loki on his squad, so everything he need to do, he'll tell Loki to do it, cause he got the time of power in his hands. So, I mean, really do. And plus, probably when Loki's probably in trouble, he probably gonna call somebody else for help, for just to him to stop Dr. Doom. But they said Dr. Doom really gonna be powerful, and RDJ playing that role. So, and they pay him $200 million, dude. Hey, they really need him to be powerful. We really need to see how powerful can Dr. Doom
by basically helping
too.
with the whole multiversal aspect of this all, while the Russos and Steve McFeely kind of have the overall big story idea. And since he was already doing Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars before, I'm sure, at least I would hope, some of Kang Dynasty would bleed into it a little bit. I really think they should address Kang. If they don't, I think that's a mistake. I think the fans really want that. I think the casual viewers need that, since they did set up just a massive amount of Kangs in the MCU in the post-credit scene for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. I think for the casual audience, they need that to be wrapped up. And Stephen McFeely and Michael Waldron, they could definitely do that together, no problem. It's easy to bring Doom in and have him defeat Kang, but we need to see it, even if it's just a couple of minutes on screen. But overall, I do think this ultimately leads to a reunion between Loki and Thor, which is what I've been waiting for since we've just seen Loki become who he is today, the god of stories, the person who saved really just kind of everyone that's attached to him, and all the universes and all the branches that are attached to him. He saved everybody. He's given them true free will. His story arc has been kind of the best in the MCU besides Tony Stark's. So to see Thor, who has also went through a lot over time, meet up with his brother again, to see him in this new glorious purpose and actually be a really great hero, it's gonna be a hell of a scene. And it looks like with Michael Waldron writing Loki, I'm assuming, for this, helping with the whole multiversal aspect to it, they're gonna do that in a really great way. So a lot of great things coming in the future of Marvel, specifically in Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars. I can't wait for these scenes. What would you expect from a Thor versus the Hulk scene? Let me know in the comments down below. Let me know how excited you are for Avengers Doomsday.
Man, dude, I ain't gonna lie. I hope they put Thor and Hulk together again for a fight, and we'll see them hopefully on the same side again. And definitely after Thor really lost his girlfriend, he really just need to love his brother again. So I would love to see Thor and Loki reunite and see how powerful Loki done got. And Chris Hemsworth, Thor, he'll be proud of him, honestly. And they really need Jonathan Majors to come back as Kang the Conqueror, dude. And I heard they had somebody else playing Kang the Conqueror, but man, we gotta see him, what he gonna do. But I want Jonathan Majors back as Kang the Conqueror. And hopefully this movie, Doomsday Secret Wars, be the top-notch Avengers movies to beat Infinity War and Endgame. Those two films was amazing. But hopefully the Russo Bus will deliver on that. And appreciate for this video, Cosmic Warner. And y'all run the views up for me, and I'll see y'all later.